Hello everyone, today is Sunday, February 2nd, 2025. It's currently 8:58 a.m. What I'm doing right now on Sunday, since the market isn't open for what I trade, what I'm doing is back testing every trade that I made last week, okay? I do want y'all to know that I lost minus $147 last week, but no, I lost minus $136 last week. I did have one trade that was profitable the entire week for just $11, even though I did profit more while I was in the trade, but I only got out with $11. So let me go over this particular trade that I took on January 28th, 2025 to show you where I went wrong, and so that I can too learn where I went wrong. And I already know where I went wrong. I just held the trades entirely too long. Okay. All right. So I took a puts trade for just one contract on January 28th, 2025. I paid $87 for the contract, even though that says 87 cents for you all who are new to options trading. Okay. On your, brokerage account, it's going to show you a price for a particular contract. It's going to, look like it's in the form of cents, okay? But that is in dollars, I assure you, okay? Because you're paying for you're paying for the rights to basically borrow 100 of those. I'm sorry. You're paying for the rights to borrow 100 of those particular contracts, okay? But you're paying $87. You're paying 87 cents each for the 100 shares, I guess. So 100 times 87 cents gives you $87, okay? There you go. That's the breakdown of the breakdown, okay? For any of you who may not understand, okay? So I did end up losing for this day. I paid $87 when I bought it. I sold it for $55, which means I lost a total of $32, okay? And so let's go to the charts and see what I did wrong. So we're on January 28th. So let me scroll to January 28th. This is the 1 hour chart. This is how you can tell where your time frame is. Okay. So I'm talking to people who may know what's going on, as well as people who may not know what's going on. Okay. We're all in this together. So beginner traders, if you got more experience, hey, we're all in this together. Okay. So going to the 1 hour chart, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see the alignment of our EMAs. I use 4 different EMAs, and as you can see up here, it tells you the EMAs that I use. The blue line is the 5 EMA, the green line is the 13 EMA, the purple line is the 48 EMA, and the red line is the 200 EMA. Okay, when they're aligned in this order, okay, that means price is going up. When they're aligned from 200 with the 200 on top, the 48 next, and the 13 next, and then the 5 next, that means that price is going to the downside. And sometimes you can have a mix up of everything. When there's a mix up of everything, that's when you tend to want to stay out of the market, okay? Because that's just a recipe for disaster, okay? So we want our EMAs to align properly if we're trading with the EMAs and the support and resistance. All right. Here's my son again. So the EMAs on the 1 hour chart, you have the 5 and the 13 crossing up. A 5 and 13 cross does signify some power, to the upside or to the downside. Now this crossed right here and then did a pullback to this area right here, which is basically the previous low before it shot up. Okay, so it came back there after crossing and then it continued on upward. Now it's trying to push up, so let's go to the 5-minute chart and see if the 5-minute chart is trying to push up. But before we go to the 5-minute chart, remember, price came down to retest and then bounce back up. So let's find that scenario on the 5-minute chart. Okay, price came down. Hold up, is this the 20? No, it's the wrong date. Okay, so here we go. So here's my line right here that I drew on the 1 hour chart. Okay, so what did I say? Price did a pullback to this area right here. And let me show you back here so you can see. It came back here. Okay, there it is. And then it bounced back up. Okay, so the trade I took on January 28th, 2025. It was a put. I only trade like once or twice a day. Okay, I don't go full throttle. Right now I'm trading 1 to 2 contracts. When I get comfortable, I will get back to trading 10 contracts, but right now I'm trying to figure out the strategy. Okay, if it's taking me a while, I like to tell my family, I know I say it every week, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. And I'm like, I'm going to figure it out. It may be falling on deaf ears, but I will figure it out. So here is the trade I took Tuesday. I bought it at 8:30. Well, before I tell you about everything I bought and what happened. So as you can see on the 5-minute chart, all the EMAs are aligned. We got the 200, the 48, and then the 13, and then the 48. And then the 5 EMA before market open. So everything was headed downward. So I did jump into this trade to the downside. My entry was great. We had the cross right here. Everything's aligned. We're in the downward pressure market here. I jumped in for a put. I'm going to have to turn off the notification on my phone. Okay, so I jumped in for a put at 8:36 a.m. Okay, so let's find 8:36. So on this candle is where I jumped in. So I'm going to go ahead and do my rectangle to show you. I jumped in right there, and then I jumped out at the 901 candle. So 901. Okay, so here we are right here. We are came down here during that time frame. And then 901 would be on this candle right here. So I exited on this big green candle right here. Okay, so my entry was perfect. My exit, I followed my exit strategy, which I realized that on my exit strategy, I have to go down to the 1-minute chart to exit, because staying on the 5-minute chart to exit, it gives too much time for me to lose my money. Okay, so I'm going to go and show you on the 1-minute chart how, if I had looked at this on the 1-minute chart to exit, I wouldn't have lost, the money that I lost. So what I did on the 5-minute chart, I waited for this 5 and 13 to cross back up before I jumped out of the trade, because my strategy says that if I'm in a trade and I see a cross back up to the upside or the opposite direction, then I need to exit the trade. Okay, so that's exactly what I did right here. I followed my entry strategy and I followed my exit strategy, and all in all, it did make me lose like 21. How much did I lose that day? $32. Yeah, $32 that day. Okay, I didn't have to, but mind you, I didn't realize until Friday that I need to use the 1-minute chart for my exit. My entry is fine, and I'm working on my entry is fine. My exit I need to work on. Okay, because there have been many times I've been up like $150, and then I'll wait for the 5-minute chart to tell me when to exit, and then I'll lose all that profit back. So I definitely need to be on the 1-minute chart when it comes to exiting my trades. Okay, so that's what I did for my trade. Now, even though that trade didn't work out, we can always have the opportunity to find a new trade. Okay, now even though this was pushing up, it looked all nice, I don't trade it that way. Like I said, with my strategy, all EMAs have to be properly aligned, and the proper alignment did not come until about this pullback. It went up and then it pulled back and brought on up the 48 EMA. Okay, so on the way up, that was a really great move from 511 to 519. Really great move, and maybe someday I'll be able to catch those moves, but right now my strategy that works for me is waiting for all EMAs to align. So had I waited, or had more money available to trade on this one, I definitely would have gotten in on probably this one right here. Well, actually, I think I probably would have gotten in on this one, but more than likely I would have gotten in on this one. So it was pulling up the 48 EMA, and more times than not, when it has to pull it up, it's gonna do a pullback to make it continue on upward. So this could have been a trade from 517 up to, let's see where it went, 517 up to 521. And even so, yeah, I definitely would have exited right here, because once I start seeing red coming, I'm like, let me get out of here. And it's very much more beneficial to, you know, get a $3 move than try to wait for, let's say, this move right here. Because about time this move happens right here and you're still in this trade going up, and all this consolidation tends to make your value of your contracts decrease. So trying to really just squeeze the maximum profits out, you know, sometimes isn't the best thing to do, because you can eventually just lose all your money back, all your profits back, and then more. So I definitely would have gotten in somewhere at this point or this point, because it's all in an uptrend, and you know, price, the 5 and 13 are not crossing back down. So I would have jumped into that trade right there, made my money, exited the trade. I wouldn't have cared what happened over here. You know, that's only gonna give you a tiny bit more profit, but it's better to just, you know, go ahead and bank your profit than risk the you know, everything just plunging back down to the opposite direction. So this is what happened. So my trade was from here to here. It was a good trade, even though I lost. And I like to say, you know, if you can follow the strategy to the T. Here's my son again. Pause. So this is a breakdown of the trade that I took for January 28, 2025. Losing $32 still hurt. You know, any type of losing when you're trading hurts, okay? It hurts, but you have to get over it like immediately. So I'm going to drop down to the 1 minute chart for January 28th. Remember that price broke down and then it shot back up. And we're going to see when we could have gotten into the trade on the 1 minute chart once we saw that price kicked up and the EMAs aligned right here. So I'm guessing that I would have gotten in this trade at the 10 o'clock mark. Okay, so let's drop down to the 1 minute chart and find the 10 o'clock mark. Okay, not sure why okay, here we go. 128. I don't know why my little arrow's not showing me where I am on this chart. I don't even know what day this is. What day is this? Let's see if I can find it at the bottom of the screen. We're looking for 128, but it's not showing me anything here. 128. Okay, I don't know. It's not showing me where I am on the chart, so I can find what date to show you all. Okay, let me pause this, figure this out, and then I'll come back on. I don't know what happened, but for me to get it back working, I just clicked on this rectangle, started drawing a rectangle, erased it, and then it gave me my date and time back at the bottom where you can see it moving. Okay, so let me go back to 128. Let me go back to the 1 minute chart for 128 at 10 o'clock. Now that I have that fixed back. Okay, 10 o'clock. We're looking for 10 o'clock. You see that amazing work going on over there? 10 o'clock. Let's see. Where should I have gotten in here? I said 10. It's showing me over here. I should have gotten, on the 1 minute chart, it's showing me 10:53. Okay. And I thought 10 o'clock. Okay. So definitely, if I had gotten in at the 10 o'clock, what would have prompted me to get in here? Well, this cross up would have prompted me to get in and just watched it on the 1 minute chart and then gotten back out. Definitely probably would have set a stop loss here to make sure that, you know, that didn't happen right there. So let's go back. Actually, I wouldn't have gotten in there. I should have gotten, according to the 1 minute chart, I should have gotten in about the, once this would have pulled up, I should have gotten in around like 9:15 and rolled it on up. Okay, rolled it on up, and that would have been the trade. So definitely my strategy, it does work on the 1 minute chart very well. So that would have been an excellent trade right there. And then let's see, if you missed that trade, everything pulled back, crossed back down, and then it crossed back up. So your next entry would have been around the 11 o'clock mark. Okay, so 11 o'clock entry would have, it went up, the 5 EMA went above the 48, did a pullback, and brought on up the 13 EMA, so everything was back aligned again. So could have traded from, let's say, 518.50 up to 521.50. Now, just because you missed one opportunity doesn't mean that you won't catch another one throughout the day. So, and here's another one. It goes up, would have gotten out right here. It pulled back. Could have gotten back in right here once this crossed back up for another trade, and then it would have come down. I wouldn't have traded that to the downside. Is that what they call a falling knife? I don't know. I haven't looked up the terminology just yet, but I will eventually get to it. So then it came down, then everything aligned again. Could have got in from 521 up to 523. There were so many opportunities on January 28th, 2025, but I couldn't catch them because I had already made my trades for the day. Well, my one trade for the day, lost my $32. But yes, I am not someone who is afraid of the 1 minute chart any longer. I know I used to steer clear away from the 1 minute chart. I mean, to the point where I would just take the time frame off of my chart, you know, altogether. And for you new traders, let me show you how you can add the different time frames to your chart here. You're just going to click on this arrow by the month time frame, and then you'll be able to here, see, if I click the star off, the 1 minute frame disappeared down here, and I can add it back on. So whatever time frame that you feel that you would like, that you would like to be on your chart, you can put it on there. Whatever time frame you deem necessary for you to understand what's going on. Okay, so let's while I'm back testing, I just want to see the overall direction of QQQ, and I only trade QQQ. I don't bother with any of the other stocks because the reason being is QQQ, when it moves, it moves. You can make money so quickly with QQQ. Now, when I dropped the Tesla and NVDA and all those things, they move too slow for me, and I just don't like that, you know, momentum. So I like to, you know, do my trades on QQQ. Okay, so currently we got a little bit what looks like a little cross on the 4-hour chart for QQQ. Of course, market closed here, so we'll have to see pre-market how that plays out for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday, you know, the first day of our trading week. Once again, you know, we have to go over the weekend. You know, I wish that, you know, it stayed open, you know, all the time, but it doesn't, which gives us a break and gives us an opportunity to go back and back test and really study the trades we took during the week. And for all of you who tend to make lots and lots and lots of trades, I was once that person, and it feels good to be to the point where I'm only trading like once or twice or maybe 3 times, but there's no reason I should be trading 3 times because I should have followed my strategy to get in at the proper, you know, time and gotten out and made my money. That's my goal. I don't want to be making, you know, all these different trades, and it makes it seem like I don't know, you know, what I'm doing. And when you're taking all those trades, I feel like, you know, it's going to be a burden to go back and study all those trades, and I feel like it limits you in your ability to really understand what you did right and what you did wrong. Unless you're someone who's got 100% trading record, you know what you're doing. And there are people out there who definitely do know what they're doing, okay? And I'm trying to get to that point. So you won't always be that type of person who's like, oh, I'm only taking 1 or 2 trades. If you can get your strategy right and figure out, you know, what works for you and how you can, you know, make your trades without losing, you know, money, and just make it seem like you're just guessing and, you know, you're not actually being consistent with your profits, then, you know, you don't want to trade like that. You want to find some substance to what you're doing, why you're entering the trade, why you're exiting the trade, and you just want to make your strategy to where, you know, you're really understanding what's really going on in the market, and you're not just making trades just for the heck of it. Or you're not just making trades and be like, oh, I got to make my money back from yesterday. Oh, I got to make this money to cover my rent. Oh, I got to make this money to cover my car payment. You don't want to put those stipulations on your trading journey, because you're going to make money when you're supposed to make money. Based on your skill set and your knowledge that you've obtained, learning how to trade, that's what's going to determine when and how much money you're going to make. So just because you're in dire need of money, that's not going to speed up the process. That's actually going to make you make really horrible decisions when it comes to trading on the charts, okay? Because you're not really going to pay attention to the strategy and the technicals and what's really happening. You're so focused on getting the money that you lose your way in being able to understand, hey, I shouldn't take this trade, or, oh, I better get on in this trade because my strategy's playing out. You know, don't try that beginner's luck type thing and just think that because of who you are, you're going to come on these charts and make lots of money. Not going to happen. Now, you're going to lose. When you're a beginner trader, you're going to lose. You're going to lose, and sometimes, you know, that's just the name of the game. All right, so I'm done explaining, you know, what happened to me on January 28th, 2025. The next video for January 29th will be up soon, so hope you enjoy the video. Talk to you later.